All right, let's bring her in here. Georgia is always on her mind, especially when she's betting on its sports team. She still actually has a Chipper Jones fathead on her bedroom ceiling. One of our favorites, Sarah Tiana. What is going on?
Not my Chipper Jones fat head, thank you.
No, it's
He
not.
definitely has a fat head, but it's not on my ceiling. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We'll get to the Braves and all that stuff in a second, but we're having a candy debate here, real quick.
Oh,
Most underrated, most overrated candy.
underrated candy. I think Neckos are pretty underrated.
Ugh.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
The chocolate ones, I
If
like.
they're rated at all, they're not underrated. Neckos, really?
Yeah, like they're pink, like wintergreen.
Isn't that the shit? Like they give that away at church, right? When you go up,
No.
isn't that what's going on? All right, all
The
right.
yellow one.
The yellow Necco. Okay, the yellow Necco is underrated. No argument here. All right,
Mhm.
what's overrated?
Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah, sour.
They're not
everything.
sour enough.
Oh, they're not sour enough.
No. Yeah. Remember they used to have like warheads, and then they used to have these things called shock tarts, which I thought were way better. They were like a
Really?
sour spree, and they got the job done.
So that's the most sour. All right. So I don't know what you'll be eating tonight and throughout the series. What's going on? What's the vibes in the Tiana house right now? You nervous, excited, confident for this Braves team?
I'm pretty nervous, but I'm also like not as nervous as I was with the Dodgers because now it just kind of feels like we're playing with house money. So I'm just happy to get over the Dodgers hump. And like anything that happens from here, I'll just be so excited that we at least got to the World Series, that Freddie Freeman got to play in a World Series. Obviously I want to win. I'm not saying I don't want to win. I definitely think we can win. I think we have the team. This is the best team that we have had in a really long time. I thought the team at the beginning of the season was the one. And it's so crazy how different it is from the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And when Acuna went down, I think like everybody else, I was like, it's okay. It's not our year. It's not our year. It's okay. I won't even feel right winning without him. And now I'm like, see ya.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think it's weird because you say it's all gravy from here, but you kind of had that when Acuna went down. It's like, all right, it's all gravy, whatever we can do. And then you beat the Dodgers, like, all right, same thing. Not that you're going to root any not as hard or fervent. Does your son Cage? I think he's only about 2, but does he know this is pretty much make or break for the upcoming holidays for him? Does he realize the importance?
Yeah, he knows how frustrated we are. He can see it. He gets very upset, because his dad's a Red Sox fan.
Right.
So there's been a lot of baseball on TV. There's been a lot of anxiety in the house. So everybody's feeling it here. And I've been really superstitious about it. Like the Braves lost 12 out of 13 games in Dodger Stadium the last 3 years. And I think I've been there for 11 of those. So I refused to go to the games during the playoffs because I just didn't want to be. I would never forgive myself if I went and they lost. I would think it was because of me. And people were like, they did not. And I'm like, I have the receipts. I kept score. I have all the receipts. I can show you exactly who is pitching and when. So it was really hard too, because game 5, those tickets were so cheap. Like Dodgers fans just completely bailed.
Right.
I mean, I paid $600 to sit next to the dugout during the season. And on game 5, I would have paid $150.
Interesting. So you purposely stayed away because you knew you were bad luck. Like, I really hope your team appreciates what you've done for them. Like, I feel like you deserve more than the stupid fan who is going to become a crypto billionaire now because he was accidentally handed Tom Brady's ball. Like, I think the Braves should reimburse you or something, or at least acknowledge it, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I hope, the hardest part about being an Atlanta sports fan is like, I feel like they know they don't have to win because we'll still be fans next year. I'm sure it's what like like being a Mets fan or being a Knicks fan feels like. It's like, no matter how much your team hurts you. So, they know you're coming back, which is why I think it took the Cubs so long to win a World Series. It's like, well, that we're still going to sell all our season tickets.
That's right.
So when Bill Plaschke was writing all that bullshit about Atlanta fans sucking, it's like kind of hacky because we did that one year and it was like, I think year number 12 in a row that we had made the playoffs and then not advanced. And so it's like, yeah, I'm sorry, but I can't afford playoff tickets every year. And I'm certainly not going to go until we make the World Series. If I'm going to spend all this money, we're not Dodgers fans, we're not rich. If I'm going to spend all this money to go to a playoff game, like I'm going to make sure it's the one I want to go to, which is the last one.
Right.
So
Exactly.
anyway, I think it's very difficult to be a fan, but I'll always be one. I don't care what they do to me.
You know what's also difficult? Explaining to people Jock Peterson and this whole pearl necklace thing. Who wears pearl like Jewish grandmas and Harry Styles? Who wears pearl necklaces? What's going on with this?
That's what's so great. He was also walking around with a glass of red wine after they clinched. I don't know if you saw that. And he was just holding it by the stem. So when Jock came in the middle of the season, after Acuna went down, everybody has heard these stories about Anthopoulos just like not conceding, but he went out and got Soler. He got Rosario, who was hurt, who we wouldn't have for another month and a half. He got Jock and he got one more person. But it was just like, apparently Jock has like completely turned the clubhouse around. Like he's the reason that everyone is always funny, always in good spirits, always high. And I don't know if you've noticed, but the Braves are very chain heavy. Everybody on the team wears lots of chains. They're very visible. There's 2 or 3 on them at once, So I think that was just Jock kind of like trying to be like, hey, I got jewelry too, and like making everyone laugh and like keeping spirits high. That's been his big role.
I spoke to him for about 10 minutes and he didn't need to talk to me for 9.5 of them. I don't know. It was really like really good. I met him at Dodger Stadium, but
nice.
Great clubhouse guy. I could definitely figure that out. All right. So now you're going to be watching these games. Do you have any superstitions when you're watching them?
No, I mean, I not anymore, like not normally. Just against the Dodgers, I have a lot, which is like I kind of like half watch the game. I'm actually going to Houston tomorrow.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. So I'm flying my sister in to meet me. It was just too difficult logistically. Atlanta is a nightmare right now to try to get anything there. So I was like, my better option is to go halfway and go to Houston. So I'm flying my sister to Houston tomorrow. We're meeting up and going to the game. So
that's very nice.
Yeah.
That's very nice. Yeah. All right. So, okay. So you're not going to be a jinx. You're past the Dodgers, so you don't have to worry about that.
Well, I am wearing the shirt. I'm wearing my Hank Aaron shirts right now. That I was wearing. This is what I was wearing when they clinched. So I'll be wearing this shirt underneath all of my other Braves paraphernalia.
Yeah.
So that's really the only superstition. I really feel like this World Series is like the spirit of Hank Aaron. I just kept thinking like, him and Dusty Baker played together for the Braves. Dusty didn't want to play with the Braves, but Hank Aaron convinced him to play. He didn't want to come to Atlanta during civil rights, which is obviously, understandable. Right. And, when Hank hit his home run, Dusty Baker was on deck. And he always talks about that moment about how, Hank does the curtain call, everyone's going nuts, and then everyone left. And Dusty's like, and I hit a double and no one even noticed.
That's funny.
And so it just kind of feels like the spirit of Hank Aaron is upon us in a really, which says a lot, because we beat Milwaukee to get here. We beat his former team, the Dodgers, to get here. And now here he is facing his best friend in the World Series. Right. So it kind of feels like our year just because of Hank.
And by the way, that home run was against the Dodgers, right? You weren't at that game, right?
Because I was not at that game.
You would have jinxed that. He would have still been trying to break the record, Babe Ruth's record. Yeah. Tom House called it in the bullpen. Yeah. That's a good one. Who was your Harry, the colossal coyote in the middle there? He was a Braves fan growing up. He switched allegiances, I think, since he moved to Arizona. He was a Dale Murphy guy. Who was your guy growing up?
Oh, yeah. Dale Murphy was my guy growing up. He threw out the first pitch, I think, in game 2 or 3. He's getting on up there. He's a fun follow. But Dale Murphy was always my guy. I also really liked Bruce Benedict, but that's just because he was our catcher. I just liked the way he was introduced.
Bruce Benedict?
Yeah, it was like the announcer would go, Bruce, and when you're a kid, you're like, oh, that's cool. Like he was not great. But
I know. You look at his
And then
stats.
I also really liked Mark Lemke, who always just felt like this guy that you're like, do you play? Like if he told somebody he played baseball, people would be like, no, you don't. What do you really do? Like, what kind of insurance do you sell? So
Yeah, you had some weird names: Bruce Benedict, Mark Lemke, right? Even
Jeff
your
Blauser.
Jeff Blauser's good. Yeah, now even your manager Brian Snitker, like you really people put people out trying to pronounce some of these names.
And his son is a coach on the Astros, so it's going to be a really cool series just because of that. Yeah.
All right, here's what I'm going to do, Sarah, because I know everyone's got to get out of here. I'm going to give you a $50 free bet. I will put $50 on a player to win MVP for you in your name. But and you'll get to pick it, but it has to be an Astro. No, it could be a Brave, whoever you want.
Yeah, to be MVP of the World Series.
MVP of the World Series. Do you want to see you want to know some of the odds first, or well, why don't you just say the name?
No.
Okay.
I think I'm going to say Soler.
Okay, Soler. There you go.
I think he's coming off of COVID, and I think he's anxious. And they showed a video of him taking BP in the stadium last night, and he hit one almost hit one out of the window.
Nice. All right. So here's what happens. Jorge Soler is 33 to 1 odds. So if you hit on this, I will be Venmoing. You have Venmo? You do, right?
Yeah.
$1,650 if he's MVP.
That pays for one of the tickets I bought.
Yes,
so that's
I was just going to say, you could buy, you know how many Neckos you could buy and just filter out the yellows there? All right, Sarah, thanks for coming on. You have anything to promote? You going out? You guys, aside from being in Houston, you'll be performing?
No, I'm not going to be performing. I do have a podcast that I'm producing called Rick Ingram Talks to Strangers, where Rick, who's like a crowd work comic, he interviews just people from Twitter and Instagram that I find that are not famous. And he basically does crowd work with them. And then I come in at the end and ask follow-up questions. We recorded at the Comedy Store. So it's a really fun, and anybody can be on it. Anybody listening, you can just DM Ingram Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and you can be a guest.
Excellent. Rick Ingram Talks to Strangers. Do you get does Don Barris interfere with your recordings, or is he?
Probably, yeah. It doesn't matter if he's not there. Even by him being in the building, you're like,
right. You have to do it at 2:30 in the morning when you know he's on stage.
Yeah.
All right, Sarah. Good luck to you and the Braves and Jorge Soler. $1,650. That'll be good.
All right.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Bye. Go Braves.
Go Braves.